You're pushing hard. You've been saving $200 a month for 6 months, $1,200 sitting there. Then your car breaks down, $1,100 to fix it. You're back to $100. 3 months later, $700 saved. Your laptop dies, $650, back to $50. Every time you build something, the universe hits reset, and you wonder if you're doing something wrong. You're not. You're just trying to spin a flywheel with your bare hands. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why that feels impossible and what it takes to finally get that wheel moving. This is the wealth flywheel. A flywheel is a heavy mechanical wheel designed to store rotational energy. It takes massive force to get it spinning from rest, but once moving, it keeps going. The momentum builds on itself. Each rotation makes the next easier. Eventually, it spins so fast it becomes nearly impossible to stop. That's not a metaphor. That's literally how wealth works. It's a momentum system, and most people never get the wheel moving fast enough to feel it. When you're starting from zero, every dollar you save is pure effort. You work, get paid, set some aside. That's you pushing the flywheel. One rotation, slow, hard, and there's friction everywhere. Rent takes 30% of your income, food 10%, insurance, car payments, student loans, utilities, all friction, resistance working against your push. Even when you're putting in effort, the wheel barely moves. You're not building momentum, you're fighting drag. Then life throws a wrench in. Car repair, medical bill, broken appliance. These aren't bad luck, they're predictable failures. But when your flywheel is barely turning, these hits stop it completely. You don't just lose progress, you lose the energy you put in. Back to zero, starting over from a dead stop, again and again. Let's say you avoid the emergencies. You save $5,000, then $10,000. The wheel starts turning faster. This is where mechanics shift. You invest that $10,000. It earns 8% a year. That's $800. You didn't work for that $800. The flywheel generated it. That's rotational energy. You take that $800, add it back, now you've got $10,800 working. Next year, $864, then $933. The wheel accelerates. Each rotation creates force for the next. But here's the part nobody tells you. The difference between $800 a year and $8,000 a year isn't just a bigger number, it's a different machine. When your flywheel generates $800 annually, that's nice. It's a bonus, but it doesn't change your life. You still need your job. You still live paycheck to paycheck. The flywheel is turning, but it's not self-sustaining. When your flywheel generates $8,000 a year, you start to feel it. That's rent covered, or a car payment, or your grocery bill. The wheel is doing work, but you still need to push. When your flywheel generates $80,000 a year, that's escape velocity. The wheel is now spinning so fast it's generating more money than you could earn pushing it manually. You don't need to work anymore. The system is self-sustaining. The flywheel has become the engine. And here's where it gets darker. Most people never get close to that. The average American has about $65,000 saved for retirement by age 55. At 8% returns, that generates $5,200 a year. That's $433 a month. That's not escape velocity. That's barely a push. After 30 years of working, the wheel is turning, but it's not fast enough to live on. And the reason is simple. They spent their entire lives fighting friction instead of building momentum. Every emergency, every debt payment, every lifestyle inflation choice, it all acted as drag on the wheel. They were pushing, but the wheel never got to spin freely. Wealthy people don't start with a stationary flywheel. They inherit one already spinning. By 25, they've got a flywheel generating $50,000 a year. They didn't push it, they got handed a machine at speed. And they don't spend that $50,000. They add it back. Now it generates $54,000, then $58,000. The wheel accelerates faster because it started with momentum. When their car breaks down, they use that year's income. The wheel keeps spinning, never slows down. Once a flywheel reaches certain speed, it generates enough to eliminate friction entirely. If it produces $500,000 a year, you live on $100,000 and reinvest $400,000. The wheel accelerates exponentially. Friction becomes irrelevant. You're building a dynamo that spins for generations. Your kids inherit a flywheel they couldn't stop if they tried. Meanwhile, someone starting from zero is still trying to get the first rotation. Here's the psychological hook that makes this so brutal. Most people don't understand they're building a flywheel. They think wealth is linear, save money, get richer. But it's not. It's rotational. You have to push for years before you feel any momentum. And because they don't see immediate results, they stop pushing. They think it's not working. They think they're doing something wrong. So they spend the money, buy something that makes them feel successful now, and the flywheel stops. They're back to zero, and the cycle repeats. The system doesn't punish you for failing to build wealth. It punishes you for not understanding the timeline required to spin the wheel. Think about this. If you save $500 a month for 10 years and invest it at 8%, you'll have about $92,000. That generates $7,360 a year. Still not enough to live on. But if you keep going for 30 years, you'll have over $745,000. That's $59,600 annually. That's the flywheel hitting speed. But most people quit at year 10 because they don't see the curve. They see the straight line and assume it stays straight. It doesn't. The flywheel accelerates, but only if you keep pushing long enough to feel it. So what do you do with this? First, understand you're not building a pile of money. You're building a machine, and machines take time to reach operating speed. If you're at the beginning, your job isn't to get rich, it's to eliminate friction, cut the costs that drain momentum, avoid the emergencies that stop the wheel, build a buffer so the next breakdown doesn't reset you to zero. Second, accept that the first 10 years feel like nothing because they are nothing. You're not supposed to feel momentum yet. The wheel is too heavy. Your job is to keep pushing anyway. And third, once the wheel starts moving, never stop it. Never pull money out unless you absolutely have to. Every dollar you remove is rotational energy lost. Every dollar you add makes the next rotation faster. You won't inherit a spinning flywheel. You won't start with momentum, but you can build it slowly, mechanically, one rotation at a time. It won't feel like progress for years, and then one day it will feel like inevitability. The question is, do you have the patience to push long enough to find out? If you found this valuable and want to keep learning how these financial systems actually work, hit subscribe. We release a new video every week breaking down the machinery of money. Each one gets you one step closer to understanding the mechanics. Thanks for watching.